Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the 5.11 AMP12 Backpack, which is a really interesting 25-liter EDC bag. And AMP stands for All Missions Pack, which is meant to speak to the flexibility that this bag provides as far as the accessories that it can be configured with. You can really set this up to match up with your day-to-day needs, and it provides the same quality and versatility that we've seen in 5.11's bags in the past. I've had a chance to test this out over the past couple of weeks, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience using it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through the different features that it has, and I'll also talk about how this compares to some of the other popular EDC bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. To me, this has a little bit more of a functional vibe as it has a lot of attachment points and straps on the exterior. It's not as overtly tactical as something like 5.11's Rush 12 Backpack, which has MOLLE webbing all down the sides and the front. But it's not as minimal as something like the LV18 backpack, which we looked at recently, and that has a much more kind of gray man vibe. So this is a nice middle ground between the two where you still get some of that extra functionality and flexibility. And it's an aesthetic that I think is going to work well for taking into the outdoors, exploring a city. It's not quite as minimal as what I would normally like to take into an office with a more professional outfit, but I still think it could work in a pinch. Moving into the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. On the exterior, you have a 500D nylon dobby, which offers a nice amount of weather resistance. And then on the bottom, you have 1050D nylon to provide a little bit more reinforcement. And you also have some nice YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside, I was a little bit sad to see that there's no external water bottle pocket. So if that's something that you normally like to carry with you, you'll have to store it inside of the bag or clip it somewhere on the outside of the bag, which isn't normally ideal, but there is plenty of space if you do want to place it on the inside. Along the sides, you do have compression straps, 2 on each side, which have these nice buckles to make it very easy to attach maybe a tripod, a jacket, or to also compress the bag down when it's not quite as full. These compression straps also provide a little bit of security for the zipper. They can tend to get in the way, so it makes the zippers a little bit less quick access, but you have a little bit more peace of mind depending on what you prefer. But I like the functionality that's provided, particularly by having these types of buckles. On the front of the bag, you have this little area with Velcro here, which you can customize with morale patches. And then you also have this Hexgrid, which is unique to the AMP series of backpacks. And this is gonna provide a lot of different attachment points. If you like to carry items with something like a carabiner, you can clip flashlights on here, a hand sanitizer. You have a lot of attachment points. I placed my hero clip in addition to a hand sanitizer and my flashlight just to kind of show all the different ways that you can attach. And this is actually removable, and we'll get a little bit more into that later in the video when we talk about the organization and the modularity of the bag. But even on its own, I think this grid is a really interesting alternative to the webbing that we see on a lot of other types of backpacks. Taking a look at the capacity, the bag comes in at about 25 liters, which is a really versatile size in my opinion. I was able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me on my day-to-day, and I still had a little bit of leftover space. And I like that the bag has a pretty slim silhouette, so even when it was a little bit more packed out, it never stuck out too much, which made it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto most domestic and international airlines. Moving into the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. I like how the straps have been implemented here. They have plenty of padding and they're pretty broken in right out of the box. On the inside, they're not quite as breathable as I would normally like to see, but they do have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps, you have a few additional attachment points where you can maybe hang your sunglasses or attach a bike light, and then you also have an adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. Down at the bottom of the straps, you also have some quick release buckles if you want to get the bag off without, ruining the specific adjustments that you've made to the straps. And I've also seen some people use this as a security measure. You can actually clip this around a table or a chair where you're sitting down to prevent somebody from running by and grabbing it. Moving into the back paneling, this has also been pretty comfortable. It has this kind of rigid foam which offers plenty of support and padding. The material isn't quite as breathable as what I would normally like to see. It doesn't have any sort of mesh, but I do like that this padding is elevated to create this air channel, which is going to provide a nice amount of ventilation while walking around throughout the day. Down at the bottom, the last thing I want to call out here is that you do have attachment points to add a waist strap that's not included with the bag. For this size of bag, this isn't the type of thing that I would normally use, but it's nice that they've included the attachment points if that's something that you prefer to add. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a nice variety of pockets all throughout. The first thing I want to talk about is this hex grid that we mentioned a little bit earlier in the video. This is one of the most distinct things about the AMP series of bags. So you can actually remove this panel if you prefer to pair it with some of the gear set accessories that 5.11 sells. They have a variety of pouches that you can attach to the front of the bag in place of this grid. So it's attached with these G hooks here at the top, also secured with this buckle. And you also have Velcro. So they have this kind of 3-point system so that anything that you place onto this area of the bag can be secured in a way that you can be confident that it's not going to fall off. So you can just completely remove this hex grid panel and use it without that. But they also sent over a few of their gear set pouches for me to test out. We have one that's meant to be kind of a larger pocket to store something like a helmet or maybe a pair of shoes or sandals. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility for bulkier items that you might not want to carry on the inside of the bag. And then on the front of this, they also have a little admin area, which is going to provide you with some extra quick access organization. So you have a few slip pockets, some elastic bands, and also just a decent amount of space for anything bulkier that you want to toss in there. And as this bag is also meant to be used for concealed carry, maybe you could toss some ammunition into this admin area. So a really nice flexible pocket, particularly if you're somebody who commutes by bike or you have to carry some sort of a helmet, that's going to be very useful. They also provided this admin focus kind of gear set, which is just going to add additional organization to the exterior of the bag. So anything quick access and smaller that I want to grab, this is going to give me a ton of flexibility. You have some slip pockets on the flap for things like chargers, mice, hard drives. And then on the back of the compartment, you have a zippered area for anything smaller that you don't want getting lost. You have a slightly larger slip pocket, which may be a good spot for a smaller tablet, a Kindle, a notebook. You have a little lanyard with a clip, which is going to be a good spot to attach your keys or a multi-tool. You have a few slots for a pen or a flashlight, smaller slip pocket. Not really sure what I would use this for, maybe for a pocket knife, and then another larger slip pocket at the bottom. So you have a lot of versatility as far as the organizational options provided in here. And it's nice that this also opens flat if you want to lay this down on a desk, if it has a lot of your remote work items or something like that. So a really nice implementation on this pouch, and I love the fact that you can add it and remove it when needed. The next area we're going to take a look at is what is meant to be the concealed carry pocket. So it has this Velcro flap that you can pull up and quickly reach down and grab your pistol if you're carrying that with you on the inside of this compartment. There are some attachment points that you can pair with the holsters that are sold either by 5.11 or other third-party accessories. You also have some Velcro on the back, which again you can pair with different holsters and pouches to kind of keep this area organized and easy to grab. If you don't normally do any sort of off-body concealed carry, you don't carry a pistol with you, you can repurpose this compartment. In my case, I actually just used this as my tablet pocket because it has that Velcro on the back. So I was able to fit my iPad mini in there very comfortably. And then because of the Velcro flap, I could reach down and grab it easily whenever I need to. And then behind that, you have another zipper quick access pocket. And this one is actually pretty deep. It goes all the way down. So it's going to be good for taller things that you need to store. If you have folders, documents, a larger tablet, this is going to make it very easy to grab. In my case, I actually use this to organize some of the quick access items that I might normally want to grab while I'm on the go. So I have this Moment Tech organizer, which just has some cables and other tech accessories that I usually grab pretty regularly during the day. And then down near the bottom, I placed a full-size moleskin notebook. And then I also have a headlamp here, which I don't always use, but when I'm walking my dog or just outside at night, it's nice to be able to grab this easily. And beyond that, that's pretty much all I have in this compartment, as there's plenty of space and organization in the main area, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. With the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. I also like that it has this brighter lining, so you have a little bit more visibility, especially as it's kind of a deep pocket. And then at the top, you have one additional slip pocket, which has a soft fleece lining. This is going to be a good spot to place something like your sunglasses to keep them a little bit more protected, particularly if you don't use a case. In my situation, I actually ended up placing my phone in here when I didn't want to carry it in my pocket, as I liked that the fleece lining would keep it a little bit more protected. And then on the back of the bag, you have a padded laptop compartment. And to be able to access this, kind of have to get the straps out of the way, so it's not the quickest access, but that does provide a little bit of security as you're wearing the bag. You have a zipper that you can open from either direction so you can access it easily. And then you're gonna have enough space to hold up to a 15-inch laptop. Currently what I have in here is my 13-inch MacBook Pro. There's just a decent amount of capacity and padding. This is pretty rigid here on the back. The compartment does also have a little bit of elevation, so it doesn't feel like my device is hitting the bottom of the ground when I place my bag down. So that's always a nice addition. And pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. So there's no sort of fleece lining to help prevent against scratching, but it does come up a decent amount. So if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in there okay. If you use a thicker case with your laptop, I can see this being a little bit of a tighter squeeze, but for the most part, for my laptop, it's felt really comfortable. You can also use this as an area to store a water bladder. If you want to use this bag for a hike, you can place your water bladder in there, and you also have this little Velcro loop at the top to kind of manage the nozzle. So a really versatile compartment. I've mostly used it for my laptop, and it really has felt like my device is going to be very well protected while I'm running around throughout the day. And then diving into the main compartment, this does have a full clamshell style opening. Before showing that, I did want to call out that it has this unique zipper system, which we also saw in 5.11's Rapid Quad Zip Pack a few years back, which provides you with quick access to different areas of this main compartment without having to open the whole thing up. So if you just want to grab something from the bottom a little bit more easily while you're running around throughout the day, you can do so if you know how everything is loaded out. You have one of these zippers on each side, so regardless of whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you can swing the bag around and grab what you need. But diving into the clamshell style opening, you do have to release the buckles, which can be a little bit cumbersome, but not a huge deal in my opinion, so that you can open it up all the way. And then you have visibility into everything that you've packed out. This makes organizing your stuff very easy. I'm always a big fan of clamshell style bags. And with this 25 liters of capacity, you have a ton of space for anything that you might need to carry. I like this layout, particularly for bulkier items, as I like to organize with pouches, and I have some of these electronics that come in hard shell cases. So diving into my current loadout, here at the top I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones with their case. I also have my DJI Mavic Mini drone, also with its hard shell case. Down at the bottom, I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, which has become one of my favorites for remote work in particular. I just placed this next to me on a desk while working. You can see the full video that I did for this. I'll link to it in the description below. And then I also have the water bottle, as mentioned earlier. Can't place it anywhere on the outside, so I just chose to place it in here, particularly since my laptop is not in this compartment. Really didn't feel like too much of a risk to me. And then I also have this GoRuck Shadow Pocket that again just has some of the larger accessories that I want to carry with me. I don't want them floating around loosely. They don't necessarily fit into one of these pockets comfortably, so nice to just be able to throw everything together in a pouch. And then the last item that I currently have in here is my Levitate portable standing desk. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside, and I really love these simpler layouts. It always feels like they just provide a little bit of additional space and flexibility. It also works well for minimal travel. I could definitely see myself tossing in a packing cube, my DOP kit, maybe an extra pair of shoes, and then using this for a longer weekend trip. And then on the back of the compartment, you do have this soft kind of Velcro lining if you want to configure it, with additional pouches that have the Velcro that allows you to stick it onto the back. You can tear them off if you want to. And then at the top, you have some loops that are going to allow you to clip additional accessories with something like a carabiner. This would actually be perfect for my Tom Bin handy little thing pouch, which I normally like to just kind of hang off near the top. So really love the balance of simplicity and space offered in this area. And then on the flap of the bag, you have two additional mesh zippered compartments. So at the top, you have a slightly smaller one, which still offers enough volume for anything that you might need to grab quickly, especially since it's at the top. So in this one, I just placed my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case, as I'm normally grabbing that a lot during the day. I like that the mesh makes it very easy to see what's inside of the compartment. And underneath this compartment, I thought it was a really cool feature that there's actually a little secret pocket. You can barely even see the zipper if you don't know that it's there. This is going to be a great spot for hiding something like your passport, your wallet, some cash, just anything that you don't want to be easily accessible, even if the bag were to be broken into. And then below that, you have a larger mesh zippered compartment, plenty of space here, even for bulkier accessories. I like that these pockets have some dedicated volume, which makes them a little bit more usable. And here I just tossed in a lot of my tech and EDC items. So I have my Blue Pop portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. I also have a lightning cable and power brick to charge my tablet and my phone. And I have a little manicure set that I like to carry with me on my day-to-day and for traveling. You also have a little lanyard with a plastic clip here, which is going to be a good spot to attach something like your keys or a multi-tool, which is what I currently have attached there. And then on the inside of this compartment, in addition to the space that's included, you also have some elastic bands, which are going to be great for storing EDC items in particular. So I have the Fisher Space Pen and a little stylus attached there. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little elastic bands that you can use for anything that you might need to carry with you. I also have a pocket knife here. And then all the way at the end, you have a slip pocket in addition to an elastic band. So that might be a good spot to store something that doesn't have a clip, so it might not hang as securely on one of the bands. In my case, I just placed a Swiss Army knife to just kind of show off the size of that pocket. So nice versatility and the amount of organization offered in this area. And I just really love the layout of the bag all throughout. It's very well thought out. It feels super well built. And if you're looking for a flexible and durable EDC backpack that's going to offer a nice amount of capacity, then this is going to be a fantastic option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the 5.11 AMP12 over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company site for about $150 for this 25-liter size. The bag does come in a few different sizes, so the price point will vary. And at $150, to me, that feels like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and build quality that the bag has to offer. And it also compares well to other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the 5.11 LV18, which we looked at pretty recently. That was a very impressive EDC backpack that had a ton of great organization, plenty of capacity. It came in at 30 liters, so it was a little bit bigger than this bag, not quite as slim. It also doesn't have, the flexibility of the front panel that this bag has, but it just has a great pocket layout. It's excellent for concealed carry, very comfortable. I actually like the harness system on that one a little bit more. And so if you're looking for a bag that's going to be able to work in pretty much any environment and offer a ton of flexibility and come in at a similar price range, then that's going to be one of the best options that you can check out. The next bag this made me think of is the Alpha 19er Evade 1.5 Full, which is a very popular bag in the EDC community. It's very solidly built, it's comfortable to wear, it offers a nice amount of space and organization, it has a clamshell style opening. It works well for concealed carry. It has a good laptop compartment. We looked at the Stealth Cobra version of that bag on the channel, which had an X-Pack fabric and it was a little bit more expensive, but they do offer it in a few different materials and colors that help it come in at under $200 for some of those variations. So just a really solidly built bag. And if you're looking for something like this that's gonna offer maybe a little bit more built-in organization, that's gonna be a good option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Mystery Ranch Urban Assault 24, which is a really solid all-purpose bag. It comes in at 24 liters, so it's going to be able to hold a ton of stuff. It has Mystery Ranch's tri-zip opening, which provides a lot of access to the compartment. It's a nice alternative to the clamshell style opening of this bag. It has 2 external water bottle pockets, which is becoming more of a rare feature these days. A really comfortable harness system. It's slightly more comfortable than this one, in my opinion. It also has a separate and suspended laptop sleeve. Really solid build quality. It's not going to have the same organizational options as this or the flexibility that this bag provides, but if you're just looking for a reliable 24-liter bag that's going to come in at a pretty close price range to this and it's going to offer tons of comfort, then that's going to be one of the best options that you can take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is of course the GoRuck GR1, which has been one of my favorite daily bags for the past couple of years. It's rock solid as far as its build quality, made in the USA. It offers a nice amount of flexibility with the MOLLE webbing that it has on the exterior and on the inside, so you can pair it with a variety of patches and configure the bag similar to how you can with this one here. And it has a much simpler layout. It doesn't have compression straps on the outside. It does have a very good laptop compartment. It has a clamshell style opening and just a really nice kind of minimalist military blend as far as the aesthetic, which I've always been a big fan of. So if you're looking for a bag that's going to be with you for many years to come, that's made in the US and you have a little bit of a higher budget, then that's going to be one of the best options to keep in mind. With that being said, the 5.11 AMP12 holds up really well against all those bags, and if you're looking for a durable and comfortable bag that's going to offer a ton of flexibility and capacity, then this is going to be a fantastic option to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the 5.11 AMP12 and how it compares to some of the other popular EDC bags that we featured on the channel. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.